seem to pass you by. You don't even know the seasons until they change. If you're looking for something just to ease your mind, you know it's never too far away. Love is where you find it. It's good if you don't mind it. And home is where you make it. If you find some love, better take it home. A flower growing in the shade is not a compromise. It's just as much alive as you and me. Even on a cloudy day, the sun is sure to rise. Just a little bit harder to see. Love is where you find. Love is where you find it. It's good if you don't mind it. Good if you don't mind it. And home is where you make it. If you find some love, better take it on home. Road's too dark to travel, the river's too wide to cross. You need a set of ways just to get around. You're looking for an angel to guide you when you're lost. Maybe something you've already found. 'Cause love is where you find it. Love is where you find it. It's good if you don't mind it. It's good if you don't mind it. And home is where you make it. Oh, if you find some love, better take it home. One more time. Love is where you find it. It's good if you don't mind it. Good if you don't mind it. Home is where you make it. If you find some love, better take it home. If you find some love, better take it on home. If you find some love, better take it on home. So take it on home. You find some love, take it on.
Just 2 weeks ago, we had a very, very nice session here with Rob Bargad, and now we're doing the interview for the post-interview for the show.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rob.
Thank you.
And thank you for doing your songs with us. The last song we did, and the last song we just heard, was a ballad, a very, very beautiful ballad.
Thank you.
Love is where you find it.
Yeah.
Some ideas about this song?
About where it came from. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I hear the story first or the music first, and I don't really remember how this one came about. But somehow I had the chorus line,
okay,
as an idea.
Well, chorus line is already taken.
Oh, so yeah. Well, we have to change it immediately.
We have to change it.
It was, that it's kind of this tricky or clever thing. love is where you find it. It's good if you don't mind it. Home is where you make it. So if you find some love, take it home. So it was like a, you know,
playing with the words and with the rhyming.
Yeah, I want to say Aufkreuzung, you know.
Yeah. And there are those beautiful chords in the song, which give, some idea where you come from, and it's jazz.
Yeah. Jazz, gospel, you know, it's a little bit of pop thrown in, maybe with the second chord, but that's about all. And it's there. It's a sort of a typical progression, you know, that everybody can understand, and musicians, you know, have heard it time and time again. But I changed the color of some of the chords a little bit so that it pops out a little special.
Yeah. It was a bit tricky for us because. At least for me, because as a blues musician, you know, the sus4 and all those tricky things, I had to find my way around those chords.
Yeah, you found it quite well.
Thank you very much.
Both of you guys.
Yeah.
But, everybody.
A beautiful tune, which also reminded me a bit of Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Coincidence? No.
It's not a coincidence. I didn't listen so much to Billy Joel, but there is that famous tune, New York State of Mind, which starts with that descending chords, not exactly the same way. His goes to minor, but mine goes a little bit to major. But maybe it starts on the same melody note, but that wasn't intentional. You know, I hope I don't have to pay him any.
No, and if sorry, Billy.
Maybe you should pay me something.
Yeah, that would be a nice idea because
I don't think he's going to miss it.
Well, he can afford it definitely. Yeah. And then we had the other song, which is already featured on YouTube, an up-tempo song.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm not sure. I think it was just it's about. Just trying to get together with somebody and maybe being rejected, maybe not, and then maybe just being comfortable with whatever does come about, you know, instead of maybe some ultimate romance or, you know, and it's just supposed to be a fun song. It's a little more rocking type of song than I usually write, but that fits. I recorded it with a jazz quintet. And that worked out fine also, you know, because it had the sort of a brass section there, and that, you know, that fits it too. But I like the atmosphere that we got, you know.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Jazz is your musical home turf, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was raised with so many different kinds of music. My father brought many records, LPs, home and recommended many, and he was actually a folk and classical musician, and also played a bit of jazz on the bass, and he played several instruments. But that's where the musical influence basically came from at home. And somehow I got, when I was around, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10 or something, I had one particular teacher who showed me chord progressions, you know, for the first time, and how they sort of fit together. I didn't really take it seriously till much later, but the musical influences are really wide. My playing is pretty limited, but my influences, you know, from soul, from salsa, from samba, and gospel, blues, funk, soul. I don't probably said that already, but it's definitely really wide. I mean, I grew up with the Motown hits, and but also with Southern rock and roll. You know, Allman Brothers, Lynyrd Skynyrd. I went to all those concerts when I was young, but then as far as on the other side, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and King Crimson, and those kind of bands also, along with seeing my favorite jazz stars all the time, because that was the main music we were listening to mostly at home. So I don't claim to be able to play all those styles, but I try to communicate, like now with students, I try to communicate a little bit of the history, and when I can cite an example, if I all of a sudden for an ensemble I want to hear a certain groove or a certain quote, you know, from a tune, something like that, then I can say, you know, this came from there, and I can show them the record, and I can, you know, maybe introduce them to some different things on a wider level.
Normally, I would have thought, well, jazz musicians wouldn't love to mingle with as blues guys, but when we reached out for you, I think there was a very sudden yes, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that I find the right material to play with you guys. So I chose basically, I think probably the only two songs that maybe not the only two. We could, you guys rose to the occasion, so to speak, and I was, just as happy to fit in with you guys. You know what I mean? It's not just like I come bring my music and you better, you should do it. It was, if it fits, it fits, and it really was a, really cozy situation, but groovy and, spontaneous, of course. It's everything recorded live, and,
Well, thank you.
Thank
for
you
playing with us, and
likewise.
once you got some more tunes which would fit with the Tobacco Road Blues Band, you got an open invitation to come back and record with us.
I'm going to work on that. It was really a lot of fun.
Okay, well, we take you up on that. Thank you very much for Bargad.
Thank you too.